big barn.
Yeah.
I thought it was a house pail like this house pail.
No.
Do you make beer?
I am the pale person in this house.
Look at me.
Pat Pale, which is like saying the same thing twice.
Oh my god.
His skin's like alabaster.
Hey, we are live.
Yes. Has anybody had a chance to get their tux stuff yet?
I'm going there this weekend. Wait, they're open on the weekend, right?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to do that soon, right?
By the end of
By
May.
the end of the month.
I'll be downtown
I
as of
yeah.
Friday, so I'll be there.
Yeah.
Did you
They're
guys dress together?
I'll walk there.
yeah, you're right.
Oh, we get salt and pepper going
Sam,
on.
are your shorts dark? You guys are fucking flip of each other.
Salt and pepper, baby.
The hair, everything. Freaking me out.
I'm sorry. I was gonna grab money. But
Oh, I'm not worried about it.
I am.
Oh.
I don't like.
I already
Really?
did.
Does that
I
bother
already
you?
did Venmo.
Venmo.
The second
wow.
I saw it.
Yeah, I'm just Venmoing.
Wow, that doesn't bother me at all.
do you know
I
what
mean,
Venmo
I
is, Paul?
ordered it
I
like
do.
2 weeks ago.
I don't even have a PayPal, but I think I'll switch to.
Venmo's
Venmo's
nice
easy,
because
yeah.
it's
It
easy.
is.
Yeah, because all the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah,
now,
they are.
So.
I mean, but a lot of like if you
And
go
you
to
can-
the like thrifty, like markets and
Yeah.
stuff, they all
Yeah.
use it. So
Really? Yeah.
The
Like
sh-
Square used to be. Everything was
Yes.
Square.
And
that's
everybody
Square.
sees the transaction. So just like when you wrote a check, it had a memo on it. You could write out memo and do something embarrassing.
Like
so with Venmo, you could just
ball
like
shaving?
Yes,
Yeah.
you could say rectal probe or something like that.
Whoa.
And we'd be like, oh wow. How
Why
much
did you
pay
have
for
to take
that?
it one step dirty from me?
everybody should just if you Venmo David, do a
Everything
rectal
ends up in a
exam.
rectal probe
I always just put stuff, but
stuff.
I put tires for this one.
Did you?
But the greatest thing in the world is though, for Apple users,
What?
not him.
What?
I know.
Apple Pay, the best thing ever.
Coaster.
Oh, you need a coaster.
You can
got
Apple Pay Venmo.
You
Or
can
just Apple Pay.
You
Apple
can.
Pay.
I think you can Apple Pay other Apple like
Hang on.
owners.
You allow this to go through your doorway?
He
getting
well,
caught up in the
as
moment.
he's walking.
You better,
he-
for those who aren't watching.
Sam walks here because he works a couple blocks away. So he walks here with this Budweiser non-alcoholic
road
beer in his
soda.
hand. And I say, "Oh, look at the little virgin walking into my studio." With this
And then
little
by the
big
time
boy
I
beer.
leave, it's
Yeah, he's hammered.
I'm purified. Yeah.
Oh, we've been live for how long? 30 minutes.
A minute.
Before we begin, it's that time. That's right. So, a minute.
No, sorry, I said that really gross.
Scratch Labs, everybody. The results are in. Scratch has the best tasting, easiest on the gut hydration options out there. Newest offering, strawberries and cream recovery, is a masterpiece and best served cold, in my opinion. I actually shake it with ice. I almost look like a bartender when I come home, except I'm really sweaty and tired. And I'm grunting. Get over to scratchlabs.com today. Get started on your road to proper fueling. Next off, Mojo Cyclery and Reynolds Wheels, people. That's right. Jackson is our first believer in the magic of Reynolds. Loving his wheels. They look pretty badass too. And David now has a set that are yours. Your logo is like matte black on the black wheel, right?
Mine is like it's like a matte black and then shiny kind of. Yeah.
Because David has that too, I think. It's
Yeah.
just that
Black
his is a
label.
black bike, black wheels, black.
Black on black on black.
Black wheels, black.
Black and black.
black.
And my label's a little bigger too.
time
Mm-hmm.
You
No.
just tighten it right there at the base. I think. Yeah, there you go.
I'm on Reynolds too, though.
Are you?
Do you want the arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as cool as the. Yeah, I know.
Damn it.
You guys are the old farts that are out of the loop.
Yeah. Out of the hoop.
I don't mind. I got my American Classic. I know they're out of business and all.
Got 10
They
pairs
still
of wheels.
work. Yeah, I do. In
a
fact,
lot of
they're in the
wheels.
back of my car with that Tour de France picture that you wanted.
Okay.
So I've got like 3 sets of wheels of my TT bike. I'm dumping in here after
Wow.
the show. So
You boys want to see something cool?
you gotta have tons of wheels.
Back in the day, this is what we did. We had them on top of the car, and we drove everywhere with them that way. Then we made up a big pot of stew. Oh, Mojo Cyclery, yeah. Thanks to Mojo for taking care of us. They are Spokane's home for gravel, and they do so much more. MojoCyclery.com. Do the right thing. Visit them in the Spokane Valley at 1405 North Argonne. Next, Berry Street Brewing, everybody. Official beer of the Packfiller Podcast. Atmosphere, brilliant craft beer brewed in-house, and an ever-expanding menu. Go to Perry Street Brewing today. Grab a seat on the deck. Order some nachos. We had some the other day on Mother's Day, and they were brilliant.
Really good.
And enjoy Spokane's finest. So thanks to those guys. So let's do this, shall we? Okay. They were really good. We had chicken.
That's all it was.
Did you have any beans on there? You got to have beans on there.
No, it was just veggies.
See,
You got to have beans.
that's so interesting to me that you want beans on.
I
there.
love
I
beans.
never get beans on. It's like I'm more of an
yeah.
olive guy.
Refried or sprinkled like black
beans.
Black.
Yeah.
Black beans
Okay,
are
I'm
the
cool
best.
with
Pinto beans.
beans.
I like navy beans. I like brown kidney beans.
I know everything
like
there is about the
red
bean
beans.
business.
Yeah.
Well, taking a page out of the Giro, we are a man down, but all things considering, we were soldier on. You know what the funny thing is I wrote that before I knew the final lineup of the show. That just means that apparently the new rule is that we can bash on whomever is missing, and this is the original copy. I said, so tonight we're all going to keep Paul in the crosshairs, but now it's David.
Yes.
Oh, the Waples wave is shifted. Welcome to Life on Two Wheels. Welcome to the Packfiller Cycling Podcast. One episode closer to 400. This is episode 382.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Big.
It's a lot.
What are we doing for 400?
I'm going to get to that.
It's a challenge.
I'm going to get to that. That's a great idea. I'm going to get to that. But that's like 400 minus 82. That's what, 24,
18.
Yeah, I know.
This is an
18.
English
Oh my
man.
That's
God.
18 weeks. That's 18 weeks from now.
So I'm gonna count it. But keep going.
Okay, I'm Pat Bulger. Let's get to the icebreaker. When I introduce you, please respond to the following. Have you ever let someone else get punished for something you did? And if so, what was it? Paul's already cringing. He's like,
All the
oh,
time.
shit.
September 19th.
September 9th. That's my wife's birthday weekend.
That is my passed away little brother's birthday.
Oh, my gosh. Well, we're going to have to do something regardless.
Yeah.
all right.
Hopefully just not something stupid. So I had to rewrite his intro because earlier he wasn't coming, but now he's here. So he's moving on up to the top to a deluxe apartment in the sky.
That's right.
Mr. Paul Maine.
That's right.
How are you, man? I
all right.
know you and I are the only ones at the bar who got that
Yeah,
reference.
yeah.
So yeah.
I'm moving on up to
Wheezy.
the east side to a deluxe apartment
In the sky.
The Jeffersons. And actually, I'm probably about 4 blocks away from Jefferson's. The
guys are
Jefferson Street.
so
Don't
old.
burn in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill. Took a whole lot of trying. Oh, just a kid. Sorry.
This is a good song.
It is great. It was a great theme back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
And Mr. Jefferson would walk with his arms
His arm
flailing
behind
behind
him,
himself.
like this,
Oh God, I can't remember the actor's name. Anyway, completely off topic.
Yes,
Paul,
it was.
have you ever done something that you blamed on somebody else and regret it? Or
Well,
got away with it? Got away with it.
As soon as he said, and this has been, and I forgot about it. So I was a freshman in high school, and so I had last summer I had my 40 plus 1 year because of COVID pushback,
Okay.
our 40-year reunion, and one of our stellar students, who actually got scholarships to the UW and everything, but I personally almost screwed it up for him because my freshman year I didn't study for the test, and he was sitting behind me and I was copying. And I got more answers right because a couple of times I just guessed and he got wrong. he was taken to the office for cheating.
No way.
And that would have screwed up his possibility. He's like, I did not cheat. Now, I don't know why they never came to
He
me
didn't say
about
Paul
that.
did. Go
No,
get
he
that
didn't. He was
asshole.
cool about that.
Really?
And
Snitches.
Kenny,
get stitches,
thank you
though.
so much.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done. But anyway. Anyway, he brings it up at a reunion, and I'm just, my wife's mouth is just, you are a piece of crap, and I married you, and I'm like,
Cheater.
and as soon as he started talking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, I did do that.
Wow.
So yeah,
So he brought it up though.
he brought it up because
Wow,
40 years
that
later.
still holds.
Yeah,
a grudge.
oh, yeah.
That's
I think
one
so.
bitter dude, man. That is.
he's a good guy, and I almost screwed him over.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was planning on both Waples here. So in this next introduction, I might have to read David's anyway. So in this corner, we have an embittered brother who was shot down more times than a flock of ducks in the fall, Mr. Sam Waples.
Oh man,
Are you
Good to
just
be
like
back.
pulling daggers out of your back? Because your brother was just like, screw that guy.
Everybody that listened to that podcast was like, "Whoa, there was some
Right?
heat thrown." And I was like, "I know, I'm coming back."
So you weren't lying in the gutter. For the record, you weren't
No.
lying in the gutter. You weren't.
For the record, he broke my soul. I mean, I got to like the end of that, and yeah, I was cracked. I took 4 days off. I mean, I look back at my training block, and that was like kind of that 6 to 7 week mark when I've been doing a lot of training, and so I was just gutted, and he crushed me for it. So well done. That hurt.
What do they say? Payback is a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, okay, here's the
And
thing.
you're the bitch?
In this scenario. I told you guys this was coming, and you're all like, man, Sam's a real jerk over here picking on David. And everybody thinks, poor David. And then
No, I don't think poor David.
Well, that's
I don't
because
think
he's
poor
pint
David.
size. He's like what?
He's
Is
tiny.
he 5'4"
He is.
or some 2 or something?
He
like
might be 5'4". Maybe.
Constantly
He's
talking
like
about how he
100 nuts
represents
portion.
the Lollipop Guild.
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always causing
If he didn't have a
mischief,
mustache,
gold
you'd
and
think-
everything.
If
Yeah,
he didn't have
I
a
think he was a
mustache-
child.
Does he get to do fun rides because he's
No,
probably
it's just above his head, so we put platforms on
Oh,
him.
and that's nice.
Christmas
Some
time,
lips.
everybody's
Yeah.
picking him up and putting him on a shelf.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm never gonna miss this show again.
That's what he's thinking right now.
Here it goes.
Yeah, you know. Oh, I was raging in the car listening to last week's. That was good.
Tears.
That was
Good
really
night,
good.
everybody. Sam, when did you do something bad that you blamed on somebody else?
Honestly, like, you can name the event. It happened so many times that it's like, I have 2 younger brothers.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
everything got, and I'm the oldest, so of course, like, my parents like, David, dang it, and I'm like, yeah, you know, he's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything. You just went.
Yeah, I just would go like just over my back. I'm like, that's him. That was him. And my parents didn't always.
Were
Yep.
you always perceived as the good boy?
Yep. Yep. And then
Firstborn.
Ben, the youngest though, was
Yeah.
like the purest of us all.
Yeah.
But he's like Jackson.
Okay.
I
Well,
like
he's
that.
the only. So I was going to say in the other corner, we have a cocky brother who talks like he's an announcer at a golf tournament.
3 years on the third point.
It's just
He drives back.
We're all gonna go to our therapist someday and be like, "Why do you have such self doubt?" And it's like, it's because of my friends. We all hate each other.
Get a good support group. I have a support group. They're the problem. Oh my God. Also in attendance, we have the guy who very likely has the cleanest bike in the room. And that, if everybody's keeping track, is the sign of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson Bulger.
I have been working so hard, and I'm getting more and more tools.
Sweet.
I'm working up. I'm working up to it.
He's assembling.
You need that
Yeah.
muck off cleanup kit. Yeah.
Well, I just got
Say that really clearly, though. Muck off, because we don't want that to count and Sam's parents to
Oh.
blame me for it.
Right.
that starts with an M.
It does. Muck off.
I just got a nice $50 gift card for my birthday.
Oh, sweet.
To a retailer that carries it. So
Oh,
I'll
good.
probably be getting that, honestly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thing that I got away with, but that I blamed on somebody else. There are a few.
You've never done that.
No.
You've never done that. He's
Well,
too pure.
no.
I can still ground him.
No, it can't. I will say, as currently an early childhood educator, there are so many smells that come out of this place that I work in. So,
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah.
Johnny, quit smoking weed.
Well, I mean, not like that. Not like that.
Sorry,
I
Mr.
will
Jackson.
Yeah.
Having some pizza, learning about Cuba.
Open the bathroom. But if you fart in the classroom and the other teacher's like, "Man, what's that smell?" You can be like, "Oh, was that kid?"
Oh,
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
You've blamed farts on children.
I've never blamed because nobody's ever asked.
You just do the head like.
But if
Yeah, it's
ever,
the same thing I did. It was like,
yeah, But if anyone's ever like, God, it smells so bad in here, it's like, I know. Right, it's crazy. They're always pooping themselves in here.
They're dropping ass all over the place.
Little do I know, I'm wide late walking it back to the bathroom, hoping I didn't shit my pants.
I think it touched cotton.
It's touching cotton.
Oh my god.
Bad day to wear white. Browns for the Super Bowl.
Dropping the kids in the pool. Me, I'm the guy who's still in the mucking trainer when it's in the 80s outside. I'm Pat Balder.
There we go.
I did have to ride the
Are
trainer.
you going to tell us either now or later on how it went?
Yeah.
Did you?
I will.
Okay,
I will
alright,
get
good.
to that when
Okay,
we
alright.
very shortly when we do the week's recap. I do, and my time is. Are there gonna be any thunderstorms here soon? Because I just don't want to get struck down. Because I do remember when I was a little kid. I'm Gen X. They just sent us out the door and told us to come home when the streetlights came on. So, of course, we went out and we're idiots. And so I was with my friends, and they lived near a church. And we were over playing near the church, and we tore the screens off of the windows of the church and just bent them and twisted them and threw them in the...
No frontal lobe.
Yeah.
There's not.
Yeah.
Exactly. No ability to make wise decisions. So we destroyed these screens, and then we just threw them into the forest because back in the day there was a forest like every 5 blocks.
Oh, yeah.
Because
It wasn't developed.
yeah, and when you were hungry, you'd go out and hunt your nightly dinner and game.
People wore loincloths instead
Yeah.
of fully clothed.
Yeah, and the church was like, "What the heck? What the holy heck?" See how I did that? And they immediately went over to these kids' house that I was at, and they both took the fall. And my mom and dad were like, "Patrick, did you do this?" I was like, "No, that was after I left." So
Nothing wrong with that.
I lied. I did
Saved
not.
yourself.
I
Kind of like Ralphie in the in Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Where he dropped the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn that? And
I got
his.
I should
buddy
be
in
in
trouble.
serious trouble. I mean, I think, when it all comes down, when I go to the pearly gates, Peter's going to be looking at me and going, "Dude, those screens cost a lot."
But
Down you go.
think about how crafty you are now.
Where's that button?
Yeah. Where's the
Reject.
reject? No!
I only did 2.
I never took EPO, though! Shit. Gentlemen, let's talk about who's riding. Sam, you might as well go first. You had yourself a little bit of a train camp, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well,
post the bitch slapping that your brother apparently
Yes.
claimed he gave you.
yes. No, and that's the thing.
He was
So
pent up. He was rage filled. It
he
sounded like
he
also.
was like gunning. I mean, I think he had just had like a whole bunch of pent up aggression from a hard week at work.
Yeah.
And he was just gunning for it. So it was like my friend and I, the rep friend that we have, was out visiting, and he and I were riding. We're both looking at each other like, what is going on? Like David's just sprinting to the top of every single hill. And we're just like, oh my God. And I refused to be dropped by him, so I was just following. I was like, nope. Nope. And sure enough, we get done, and I have that, like, I had to pull my glass socks. I'm like, whoa, I can't, like, things are getting real weird over here.
What?
And, oh, yeah. And I'm like, we just need to get home. And so that's when we, like, hopped back on Valley Chapel and just booked it home because I was like, I'm dying. And David just looks at me and goes, this feels so good.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But anyway, so after that happened, like, I just was like, well, I have to take time off because I'm fried right now. So I took 4 days off, and then Friday did a good ride with the wife. Saturday, good ride with the wife. Sunday went out and did a hard
Bicycle ride?
hour. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Nice ride. And then, God,
You're talking about bikes.
All right.
oh my gosh. Get out of here.
I just need some clarification.
Get out of here.
What?
Yeah.
What? It could have been a car ride.
Yeah, you just wanted to
car ride.
Get
clarify
your
it.
mind out of the gutter, you sick.
Horseback ride.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're the one that took it one step dirty. I'm just saying.
He's on a kick. He's on a kick tonight.
Been moving all day.
He doesn't-
I know.
He needs it.
He doesn't have a backyard anymore.
This is my
true.
6th beer tonight.
But yeah, so then anyway, I started the intervals. That started yesterday.
wow.
So
Okay.
Lucky dog.
doing some low cadence tempo intervals
Yeah.
tomorrow, and
Uphill.
I I mean, I'll go wherever it is because it's hard to find 15 minutes of like uphill here.
Yeah.
You know,
Within reach.
Within
shouting
reach.
distance,
like because I only have like an hour and a half for it. To
unless
work.
you're me, and you get like a mile climb.
True.
And then it takes 15 minutes.
That's my ride week.
You know why I
That's quite a bit.
self-deprecate? Because I'm never out of material. Nobody's ever going to look at me and go, hey, I'm offended. Screw you. It's making fun of me.
Yeah. You're offending yourself every day.
Yeah.
I always have new content.
Go to bed. Night, honey. Kiss her on the cheek, and I go,
See, I thought you were.
I'm a horrible person.
I thought you were gonna
Go
say,
ahead, Jess.
"Night, honey." You give her a kiss, then you go, "Night, honey." You kiss yourself on the arm,
Yeah.
fall asleep.
That's
I
right.
love me too.
Mentally. I'm a strong person.
Do that by yourself.
God damn it, people like me.
That's right, Stuart Smalley.
Anybody else talk about ride week? Paul, you've probably just been boxing and moving. And
Yeah,
lifting
I've been.
and,
You know, we had the Tuesday or Thursday night race, and I had I that's like my 5th ride in a month, and so
oh shit!
yeah, I was totally
You're breaking
worthless
your New
to the
Year's
team.
resolution. You're
I know.
breaking your New Year's
I know,
resolution.
but that's because life gets in the way, and
Yeah.
there's got to be a clause in there, you know.
Okay.
So
And the
I'm
clause
moving.
is-
But
It's not like I'm like, you know, I don't feel like it, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I said hell with it, and I smoked 2 cigars and drank a half a case of Keystone Light, you know. So that's not what I.
You still
did,
show
so.
up though.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
showed
love.
up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, okay, I feel pretty good. I can do something. I'm not like talking trash, but I'm like, hey, and I see this guy, and I think it's Winston.
Yeah.
Hey, Winston. He goes, I'm not Winston. I'm sorry. That was.
sorry.
I thought, you know what? I gotta quit talking because this guy is like, and then he speeds off, like
like
I'm
he
not
was
Winston. Oh, all right, boy, I really hit
Not
a nerve there.
friends.
So, but anyway,
That's because Winston's nicer.
yeah.
Prick.
So in the race, I'm only focusing on the race because I haven't rode since Thursday. So obviously with this whole deal, but moving. But anyway, there's 3 laps to go, and I'm like, I haven't done anything, and I thought David was in the front group that was winning, and the beer guys. There's 2 guys, and they were taking off, and they pulled through, and I said, oh, I'm not pulling through. David's up there. And he goes, no, he isn't. He's behind you. And I look back and, oh, crap. And so I'm like, I get to the front. And then I realize I open up my book of matches, and there's one. Oh, well, whoosh. And it smoldered out real fast. It didn't flame long. And then all of a sudden it's like, I got to get on this wheel. Nope, can't make it. Oh, I'm by myself.
Oh shit.
And then our buddy Nigel,
Yeah.
who was on beer, who took a pull before me, he fell off. And then this lady from Seattle, Nikki, is friends with Dan Felk. They were there, and they're in front of me, and I was like, I feel like that I'm in officer and the gentleman, like, give me your DOR. Drop on request. DOR. No, this is no place to go. And I see them, and I thought, do not quit. Just catch them. Just hard as I dug deep, and I caught on, and we shared a ride, and I thought, if we can catch anybody else, we caught a couple of, we lapped some B pack that started behind us, and I thought, there's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I was totally worthless the whole race, but at least I pulled something out. So that was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I want a race recap from him every time.
I know, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
pulled out my matchbook.
I was going to ask
There's only
shortly about.
one.
I was going to ask you guys to talk about the race, but I'm not going to anymore.
Yeah,
Because,
that's
you
it.
know, it's-
Well, I mean,
Well,
he's got a story.
I do have a
Jackson's
story
Yeah.
because that was.
First of all, how was your rest of your training week? And you don't have to talk about Saturday because I'll cover that.
Well, I was gonna say. So I did race Thursday, and that was really good. That was a different type of race for me. I have never entered into a race and thought. Well, I entered in and I was hoping for a sprint finish. Paul, you and I talked a good amount on our kind of warm up laps about what we were hoping would happen. And I mean that was what the plan was going in, and then it became a breakaway type of day. And there was a moment where you said, I have the one matchbook left, and then our friend Nigel pulled off, and you pulled off, and Nigel got in my wheel, and I was thinking, okay, let's do it together. and I hit the front doing like a good effort, but not like something I'm gonna kill myself doing. And I turn around and nobody's there, and so I'm like, I got to make a decision now. I see them and I think I can do it, and so I tried very hard. I did a lap and a half solo at like 400 watts, and that was talk about an accomplishment for me as someone who considers himself camera's on me now. As someone who considers themselves a sprinter, that was a lot to handle. And after a while, I got to a point where I was just thinking, yeah. I looked up front, and I turned around and I thought, this is a bit of what I said after the race, a bit of a fool's errand. And I just thought, I'm gonna sit in, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna sit in. Right as I get back, people start attacking again, and so I'm sitting in. And it all came down to it, but I ended up winning what I would call pack sprint. Pack sprint. Yeah. Getting 11th, and I was happy with that.
Yeah.
So
how big was the group that got away?
It was.
I think there was
10.
It was 10. Yeah. It was.
But they weren't all together.
You're giving me
they
shit
split
about
up?
math?
Yeah. After a while, yeah.
Yeah, they split
You got
up.
11, so carry the
To
1 and
times pi.
divide by-
You forgot to times
Oh,
pi.
pi, yeah.
With the square root of. Anyway.
But all in all, after that race, I was very proud of the effort that I'd put in, because like I said, I'm not typically a hold of power for a long distance type of guy. So that was something that I'd a box that I had kind of opened and realized that I can actually handle it.
Yep.
And then on Saturday, you and I went out and things happened, but I was able to eventually get a good effort in at the end, get some sprints, do all the stuff I needed to do.
Sure.
So, and I'll let you take the rest of that.
Yeah. I didn't race on Thursday because last week, I think during the show, I was talking about the fact that I had an AFib episode after about a mile and a half into a ride, going downhill, just like, and then it took me probably 5-6 hours to go back into sinus rhythm. First of all, that's a positive that I went back into sinus rhythm, which is a good thing. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, this is a podcast called the Packfiller Podcast. Go back to episode 1. We'll see you in 380. And then, so I didn't, and then my brake lever broke. My rear shifter broke. Hi, Shimano. And it took me a couple days to get that repaired. And then I had it all set to go by Thursday, but I hadn't really had a chance to kind of go out and test the ticker and make sure everything was going to be good. So I think the spirits in the sky were saying, dude, just don't race. And so I came out, I watched you guys. I took a bunch of video that's still sitting on the memory card. And just had fun kind of watching you guys race, and that was great. And then Jackson and I went out on Saturday for and I don't think we were doing anything major. We were going to do about a 40-50. We were going to do the Valley Chapel loop, which is about 50 miles, I think.
With 4 mounds, right?
Four mounts. Sorry, 4 mounts. Sam's in the room, so I automatically assume Valley Chapel's included. We were going along, and we saw another local club pull out in front of us, and so we all passed them, and I of course had to pretend that I'm a stud, and I tuck it into my sock. So I kind of hit the gas and went by him a little bit, and Jackson's probably just like going, "Good job, Dad.
Yeah,
great work." But we went past him and then kept going for a little bit. Then we got to a little rise right by the church there, and boom, it was like a switch. And I looked down at my heart rate monitor. I'm like, "Whoop! I'm 180. Whoop! I'm 226. This is impossible. I'm a machine." And sure enough, I went back into atrial fibrillation, and then. So Jackson and I, got smart and turned around and headed back, and I called my wife and she picked me up, and a lot of pouting from my perspective.
Rightfully so, though.
Yeah, I'm just like, I was feeling good, and then I got this procedure, and now I'm back in AFib. So that was frustrating, to say the least. Yesterday I decided, and this is why I made the joke about me being on the trainer. Yesterday I decided to get on the trainer because I can monitor my efforts. I can hit certain power. I can do all this kind of stuff, and I'm not out somewhere where I have to call somebody to come pick me up. So I got on, on Zwift. Every little climb I came to, I hit the gas. One of them, it was like a 6-minute climb, and I just went 350, 380 watts the whole way, and got off, and I was good. It was about an hour, and I was about an hour even, and so I was able to do that, and went back, sat down, everything was good. So it's a healing process, obviously, and it's going to take me a while, and I have zero patience for it. I'm an American. I want my results right now, and I want my burger with the fries, and I want them by the time I get to the drive-thru. And if you put too much ketchup on it, I'm going to shoot up the restaurant. I'm that kind of a mentality, and so I really want all my results immediately, and so that's been frustrating, but it's okay. The funny thing is I think pretty much everybody but Sam mentioned Nigel. And Nigel's one of our fellow cyclists in the town, longtime cyclist kind of a thing. And I'm in the back seat of my car going home in my SUV. My wife's driving, and my mother-in-law's in the front seat, humming and reading stop signs. That's what she does. She just calls out. She's like, "Ooh, grocery store. Ooh, stop." She just does that. That's kind of her thing. And she hums to herself and all this kind of stuff. And she's in the front seat, and I'm just like, I'm pissed. I am mad because, I'm feeling sorry for myself. And windows are slightly tinted in the back, not in the front. And we come to a stoplight, and Nigel pulls up next to us, and he's looking up at the roof, and he sees the orange giant.
Yeah.
And he's going, "That's past Mike. What the hell's going on?" I could see it in his eyes. Mm-hmm. And then he looks at the back seat, and I was waving, and I think he only barely saw me waving through the reflection, the tinted. Yeah. And so I lowered down the window, and he goes, "What is going on?" And he had the most genuine, concerned look on his face. And I said, "Yeah, second ride I've gone out, and I've been stopped by AFib." And he just looks at me and goes, and "Thank you, Nigel, because sometimes, dude, I don't know if he's listening to this or not. Sometimes I just want to smack him because he just pisses me off. Because his sense of humor is not self-deprecating; it's pat-deprecating. Yep. And he looked at me, and he had the most genuine look in his face. He's like, "I am so sorry, man." I'm like, "Thanks, dude." And then the light turned green, and so that was cool, Mm-hmm. And patience is hard, but we're getting there, So. We'll see. Next Thursday, I'd love to be at the starting line. I'd love to be at the starting line and go as long as I can. And speaking of which, the AFib only lasted about 2.5 hours this time. So it went back out. So, we're on the right path, but not quick enough. That's a long pause. Does anybody have any events on the horizon that you're planning on? Or are we all just blank slates? Jackson, why wedding?
I was about to say I got a wedding.
Yeah.
But after the wedding and after the honeymoon and all that, when I come back, I'd be willing, if there's something that's not too much travel or just like something that's close by, I think would be really cool. I'm even willing to do something on the gravel. Because after all, like, I will say that.
What?
I know. Mm-hmm. After all this, like, kind of really competitive road racing for, like, 2 months, I would say that it would feel kind of nice to not have to worry about a crit sometimes, But I think that's all I've really got in the locker.
Any of you guys?
RC3?
RC3 is what I've just seen straight through. Anything past that, I think it's going to probably switch to more of because I got a lot of house projects that I got to get done, like reno stuff. So once RC3 is over, I'm probably going to be focusing on just whooping your guys' ass.
Nobody's going to do the Vancouver crit weekend?
When is that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, because I will.
Is it a weekend or is it a day?
It's a weekend.
It's 2 days. 2 races.
All right, I'll make the trip.
And it's I think it's also the Masters
State Championships.
Yeah, district championships. Yeah.
I also got Taylor Swift to go to this summer though. So if it's on the same weekend.
Sam, you willing to maybe pick up a microphone during a Masters crit?
Sure.
Because I think I can get you an entry fee in exchange for it. For RC3.
RC3, yeah.
Because Jackson can't call the race, so you'd have to go like
Bream lap.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Yeah. I get your entry fee covered.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay it and not show up.
Instead, I cannot pay it and show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what
That's
a turn
what
of
you
events.
need.
That's right.
You're going
That
George
is.
Costanza.
Yeah.
You're doing
That
the
is.
opposite of what you normally do, and it works out well.
I like that.
I like.
All right, I
there
can
you
do
go.
that.
There we go.
There you go.
Well, I'll add on to that.
yeah.
So, my sister and I are heading down to Augusta, Georgia, and it happens to fall in that time period of Masters Nationals.
No way.
So, and my brother-in-law is coming too, so we're gonna make a trip down there. So,
So you're gonna do it?
yeah,
Nah.
yep, guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah, I know your
So,
sister's going.
after RC3, yeah, I mean, once this fiasco of having moved and settling in,
You'll find
I'll
something.
be able.
else.
Yeah, and the sad thing is my motor pace scooter is gone now. We had to
No.
give it away. Yeah, my wife.
Why
We give
do
it
you
to our
want-
son. We give it to our
all
son.
right,
so,
fine.
That's
yeah.
fair.
But it's still in the family.
Yeah, it's in the family, but I don't think my son's willing to motor pace me.
No, we could still go borrow it back.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh, that's something.
So
I
within
just grabbed a
I mean,
random can of beer, and it's
if-
a cozy winter.
Oh, that's
Oh,
delicious.
but it's winter warmer.
so within
I'll drink it.
masters, are there age categories?
Yeah.
Is it just all master? It's
No,
all
it's-
okay. There is.
once you get once you get on that level, there's 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45, blah blah blah. So I'm 60 to 64. I'll be racing.
Okay, cool.
So that's the RC3 one?
No, this is Masters
Oh, yeah,
Nationals
yeah,
in
yeah,
Augusta.
Nats.
Yeah,
Yeah, they go all the way up to 80 and over.
yeah.
I'm waiting for that. I'm getting my stars and stripes at 80.
I think
There
I
you
shared
go.
that story about in '92 we had the Masters Nationals here in Spokane, and I helped out Mavic on their tech support, and we're doing tune-up bikes. And this guy came in. He's like 88 years old at that time, and I'm like, wow, have you been? You've been doing this long? Because since 20
Since
something.
18.
Did he use,
He was a
did he use
rotation-
the word "aught" in there?
Yeah,
Like 1904.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
But he was the he missed the 1932 Olympics in L.A., but for the 36 he was the alternate in Berlin,
Holy.
and he was national champion in his age
That is
group from like
cool.
70s or something. He's from Florida, and he ended up dying it, and he was so famous about it. He's legendary that in Florida when he died, Cycling News did an article about him, and they said his 1988 Ford LTD had only 38,000 miles. He rode his bike everywhere, but it's Florida, it's flat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
who cares?
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I thought that was pretty cool that I got to meet this guy.
Yeah.
And anyway, I thought he was an inspiration, and even though his Lycra shorts, I mean, his skin was so baggy, his Lycra shorts wouldn't even stick to him. It's just like baggies.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
jeez.
but he was a crusty old guy, but yeah, he just loved racing.
Oh,
So there's
wow.
an inspiration.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until I'm 6 foot under, I
Yeah.
will do the same.
I've got RC3. I'm not sure. I might as
And
well
the
start
last-
the road race. Might as well start the road race.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna do, but might as well start it. And then last best ride in August I'm doing, which is gravel. But I would like to do that crit weekend. I think that'd be fun in Oregon.
I think
How
that's
many
a
can your
weekend. I
camper
think that's
sleep?
18th. Maybe?
What's that?
How many can your camper sleep?
1, 2, 3,
8.
4.
Easy. Let's go.
I think that's pushing it, but yeah.
Well, 1, 2, 3,
5 should be
4,
fine,
5,
though.
6. Probably 6.
Yeah, 6.
5 or 6. Yeah.
So that's a whole team right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Pool or the pond. You can sleep in the pool. I do want to mention that the 24 Hours of Riverside is next weekend. 24 Hours of Riverside, 24 hours of Riverside.com. Still time to sign up for that one. Our numbers are up quite handsomely, and that is making me very happy. And, putting my money
That's
where my mouth
awesome.
is and putting on a bike race. So big thanks to my buddy Eric Ewing, who is kind of the main guy behind it. And I'm kind of his Robin. I'm his sidekick. We're both co-race directors, but he's the guy who grabs a bull by the horns and makes it all happen. So go check it out. Let's jump to our topic for tonight. Brought to us by our friends at Giro. You know who they are. You know how absolutely brilliant the product line is. Shoes, helmets, gear. Jackson's shoes are so cool looking. The pioneers of the helmet revolution and your best looking shoes on the market, in my opinion. Tell them Packfiller sent you. The past race got me thinking. Especially as we are now experiencing races again. I want to talk about the inner asshole. Jackson brought this one up. I always mention the inner asshole. how sometimes there's this switch. It's like, on your mark, get set, I'm a prick. I want to talk about the fragility of the modern cyclist. I want to talk about the inner asshole. I want to talk about ribbing versus trash talk versus flipping shit versus flipping out. So I and as I said, I've talked about times you find yourself being rude to your fellow human being, and sometimes that might be an inner part of our personality when you try to be a competitive cyclist. So to start, let me ask and I'll open this up to anybody. Are you a vocal person in competitive environments, or do you consider yourself, if you are vocal, are you gentle, nice, blunt, funny, rude, or just plain mean? How would you classify yourself from an outsider looking at you? Anybody want to go?
Jackson? I mean, I can start. It's not very. I'm not too vocal. I think I'm.
You're more than you ever have. I have to say as an observation.
I get super serious.
Coming from fun-loving, easygoing Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like it's a different me for sure. I get really in the moment, and I work myself up into like getting there to like I try and get like locked into a specific area, and I think that what I do is I'll call out things that I think are like dangerous or like kind of stupid, or if somebody's chirping at me, I have no problem with saying something back to anybody. But I'm very I'm blunt and I'm straightforward with it because I don't want to hear. It's kind of like how a teacher is. I think I go into that mindset a little bit. It's like I don't want to hear anything back.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna talk to me, I don't want to have to hear. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I want to have it just end after I talk.
Give me an example.
So I think
you are a teacher.
Yeah, I am.
This conversation's over.
Yeah.
But
because I said so.
Well, that's rough.
That's my job.
Yeah, good point. This is empty. Oh no, it's not.
I think. Let's see. I'm trying to think about. Oh yeah. Somebody did say something in our first crit where, and I think I mentioned this before, but I just kind of put a hand out because they were coming over on me. I let them know I was there, and they were like, "Whoa, watch it, Jackson!" And I went, "I know what I'm doing. I'm just telling you I'm here."
Oh,
and after that, I just want to be straightforward.
It's so nice.
But it's like it doesn't leave.
It's like,
yeah,
it doesn't.
I know what I did.
Yeah, it's taking. I think it's taking responsibility, but also saying, I don't really care.
First of all, the dude knew your name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd be like, eat shit.
But and that's the thing though. I'm never gonna be.
Listen to the Packfiller.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass.
I'm never gonna be insulting because that's what I don't have the confidence for that.
Oh.
But I.
Oh yeah.
I do. It's a gigantic defense mechanism.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't either. That's what I meant to say. It's a gigantic defense mechanism. I'm insecure and I'm shallow, so I just lash out. Works.
This is a safe space in case you really need it.
Go to hell!
But yeah,
your mother's a whore!
But to take the longest way around to answer that question, I think I'm very blunt and direct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot the doors open tonight. By the
I
way.
know. Your neighbors are probably
property
just
values are spiraling.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sam, gentle, nice, blunt, funny, rude, or plain mean?
I think that I thread a line on all of them personally from my view. I mean, I can be very mean. Like you guys saw me trash talking to all guys on the last race, right? I think that that's funny. Some people might perceive it as mean.
Yeah.
But then I am very direct. Like I would consider myself a captain of the race in the sense of I'm like, nope, foul play, that doesn't work. You know, and it's like I just direct. I'm like, I just shut it down, or I'll tell somebody that was out of line. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one guy swerving in on me. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, pay attention to your line or get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. I don't have a problem calling it out, but I don't think it's dick. I think that I'm just direct.
Okay.
You know, I just call it as it is.
Yeah.
And I am a dick about
So you're
heckling
blunt.
people.
If of those words,
of
you'd
those
be more blunt.
Yeah.
Blunt, leaning on funny that some people might
you.
not interpret.
Yes, as funny.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's their problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get the joke,
That's your problem.
mother's a whore.
Nope.
Not your mother. Oh shit!
Mama Waples. Mama Waples.
Not Mama Waples.
You get 0 fucks for the next 3 days.
For the next year. Oh,
For
I
the
didn't
record,
mean
that
her.
was not pointed at her.
That was not
Yeah,
her.
right.
Yeah, thank
Because you
It was
met
the
her.
General Peloton's mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a specific writer.
Yeah.
Did you just happen to
That
be
you
angry
never
with
met
at
their
the time?
mother, but
Yeah.
you just said,
Yeah.
there we go.
I'm sure she's the same. It's a generic
easier.
term. You know, it's like everybody's got a mom, so might as well poke fun of her. You know.
I never knew my mom.
God, you are just.
Your mom's 90
Let's
and
bury
shit.
him.
Lives out in the north side. No. West.
Northwest.
West side.
West.
Yeah, northish.
Paul, where do you classify yourself?
I
You're a
try
gentle
not
giant.
to.
You're a gentle giant.
I try to be good because I think through my years. But you know how the elite have a tendency to bark at anybody and that type of thing. So I don't want anybody to take what I say is wrong. And the last Thursday night race, there's a guy, Dan, who I've known since he was a little kid. He was in the race. He's a great bike racer and everything. He was moving out in front, and the door started closing. He swept in front of me, and my wheel hit his back
I
wheel.
was right behind you.
Oh man, my butthole puckered. I thought it sounded like thunder. I thought, is there thunder? It's my butt cheeks. And so later in the race, when things calmed down a little bit, I said, "Dude," I said, "Man, you almost like swept me out." And he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "No, it's okay. I'm glad things slowed down so I can get that stinky stuff out of my pants." But he kept like, "I am so sorry," and he's like, "You're missing the joke here, Dan. Dan, it's like."
Yeah.
I don't know how many people in my life I've, unintentionally swept someone, actually taken them out because I thought I had clearance. I mean, that's just part of bike racing.
Yeah.
So. But that's not a reason I would ever bring up, hey asshole,
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
your mom, you almost took me out. I don't do that.
See, I saw it happen though, and I heard the typical Paul yell.
Tell your mom.
Hey!
Tell your mom I'm not gonna Venmo her this week.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
I am a passive aggressive
Prick.
Passive aggressive guy.
And your mom is a whore.
Like that's not passive aggressive.
I would never say that in a race. I'm saying that now for comedic purposes.
Yeah.
But
Well, we'll see.
in races, I'm just like, I mean, I got, the first race we did, some guys hit a break and everyone, bah, 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 and I go like, I don't want to crash until next April, or something like that. It's just something stupid, I just,
No
I'm
one
the
laughed,
one who
did
has,
they?
no,
All right.
I have to follow with a stupid comment though, some
that's
sort of
good.
a sentence,
To kind of like compression everybody's all tense because somebody's yelling. Is that what the purpose is? Just
Yeah,
relax,
I'm a
people.
person
Yeah.
for others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
decompress. Yeah.
Am I a person for others? It's interesting. As I said earlier, the personality changes. I start before the gun goes off. I am nervous. I don't want to be there. I don't want to race. Gun goes off. It's just like the Tasmanian devil. You just, and all of a sudden I'm just, I'm spewing stuff like the little girl in The Exorcist. And I think there was a mother whore joke in The Exorcist.
somewhere. Yeah.
I wasn't a joke, but do you guys? Actually, you guys could pick on me. Do I say anything inappropriate in races that you've been?
I don't know. You're so far back. I can't hear anything.
Oh my god.
Dang it! I should have saved that one for David.
God. Thank you.
I think that was Pat. I don't know.
Did you hear something mumbling?
Fuck!
Oh, he's falling off the back.
Something puffy in a blue jersey flew by.
That's Pat. Did he say wait for me?
Oh my God. That is good.
Never mind.
Okay.
Does your personality change when the gun goes off like that? Is it just completely shift, or are you just like, I'm just myself, just a little more heightened?
I'm gonna just jump right in because I'm like you.
You are okay.
You nailed it because all the way up to I was thinking I need to shave my legs because I got to be ready for the race. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'm just not going to shave my legs. Maybe I'm just not going to race. Like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And it was like thinking the whole way up to the line, I don't know if I want to do this. And then finally the gun goes off and I'm like, who am I going to fuck up first? It's like, I'm going to rip your legs off and your legs off and your legs off. And it's like, and then I'm going to see you cry. It's like, it just switches. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I'm the same as you.
Has anybody ever felt the need to apologize?
Many
like
times.
I did something. Paul and Jackson are just like going, no, we're nice people.
No, I've apologized. Well, like when I've swept a couple of people, or
You-
when somebody like points something out, it's like, dude, you did, and I said, hey, I'm sorry. That's, I mean, that's
Like
the best
you,
way to
like
deal with it.
not where you got to go find them after a race and say,
No,
like, dude, I'm sorry, I snapped, I lost.
Well,
it.
if I know at the time, I'll say something, and if they snap back at me like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
After I apologized, and I said, well, your mother's a whore.
Yeah.
What I said.
it's like, God, everybody keeps telling me that. I'm gonna call my mom.
I will say I have regretfully said sorry one time, and I
regretfully.
yes, not like regretfully. I don't think I needed to say sorry. I think I felt I was overly apologetic about it because last year in RC3, another guy and I were like, he was like, "Oh, I'm dead," and it's like, then why are you at the front? I didn't say that. I stood up and I did say, then why the fuck are you at the front right now?
You said that?
Yes, I turned around and I said that, and one of our other racers, who was their teammate, came up and said, "It's okay, Jackson, we're all here." And I was like, thank God somebody else is here. But I got so seethingly mad.
I would get more mad if somebody tried to calm me down. Like, Pat, calm down. Eat shit.
It wasn't calming down.
Your mother's a whore. Who the hell are you?
It wasn't necessarily a calming down. It was more of like a reassurance that like there are other people that are willing to work in this breakaway.
Your
And
dad's a whore.
And I was like, thank God there was that. And so then the next day I was like, hey, sorry, we got a little bit heated.
Yeah.
And then after the race, I was like,
Shouldn't have.
I didn't really need to say sorry. Like, I was kind of happy that I got like a little bit of, not aggressive, but I'm happy that I like verbally stood up for myself.
Yeah.
Because I never do.
You're usually the nice guy. I
always,
always like nice guy assassin. I refer
and then he
to
just
Jackson.
screams into his pillow at night. We need to ask Maria. Yeah. No, you guys, you know how he lets this anger out? Call of Duty children. 13-year-olds.
Even then I'm
Deny
quiet.
that.
Though. Even then I'm quiet. Like,
Oh, God.
We all give each other, as the listeners heard, constant shit, from text exchanges that could warrant harassment to brotherly love that rivals Cain and Abel. We like to and almost expect shit given. I mean, I have tears in the corner of my eyes from the last couple of comments that made me laugh. We are in a societal shift where and I, correct me if I'm wrong. I think social media has really contributed to this, where we all think we have our own voice now, and we all are able to comment on the slightest little thing. And when the entire populace gets to comment, all of a sudden this gigantic paradigm shift happens, where if somebody says something wrong, there's a percentage of the world that yells at them. Classic cancel culture. You see somebody talking about, we're doing a social media post about e-bikes or something like that. And if one person says that's not real cycling, everybody in the world seems to gang up on that person. I know that there are moments in our lives that, that I want to be able to give somebody shit in the Peloton, or I'm not going to call their mother a whore, but unless I'm really mad. But there's those moments of flipping shit. Have we lost that moment? Has our culture become too sensitive that you can't go up to a stranger and bust their balls because their bib straps are over their jersey, or their helmets? That was worse. That was worse. Yeah, their glasses are inside the temples. Inside the temples of their helmet straps.
Yeah, that's right.
Can we not do that anymore?
well, I think there's a level to it. I think that like when you don't know the person and it is genuinely a stranger, I feel like that is kind of like whoa, like why are you just kind of like coming at me being a dick for no reason? That I feel like is kind of like a little unnecessary. But then like if you know the person, like for instance, like if somebody in the peloton, we all kind of know each other a little bit. Sure. And so like if we each like gave each other some shit, it wouldn't be like, wow, you're an asshole. It'd be like, oh, haha, like that's just Pat being Pat, you know, like it's that's just I feel like it's how much you
my
know
mother is a whore, got me through college.
Well, but Sam, what were you gonna say?
He's
recovering. He's recovering.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Mom.
I think that like
She did it all flatter on her back.
Oh my god.
She's in the back of graduation.
no. Okay.
No problem, honey.
No. Man, I think like I'm never gonna stop. Like I remember racing down in California and I was in a breakaway in this crit, and these are guys that I've never met before.
Yeah.
And I mean, this guy railed a corner and just almost ate shit. And I just come up next to him and I'm like, I remember my first time riding a bike. And I mean, like the guy was kind of looking like, what the hell? I'm like, kidding, bud. Way to save it. You know, it's like, but
did you have to? That you would have to go kidding, bud.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I also don't really care if people think that I'm a dick, is the thing. Like, I do the same stuff all day long at the clinic, and I'm a professional.
Really?
You know, it's like, I don't know.
If
it is,
so
yeah, that's true. I know.
Yeah.
If people are going to take it offensive, then I don't know. Fire me. Sue me. Please don't sue me.
All right. Don't.
Or kick me out of the race.
Yeah. Polly, you're just...
Yeah, I think you got to know your audience. It's not... personally, I mean, that's why I mentioned Dan before. Sure. I thought he understood. It's like, dude, I know you. You didn't purposely do that. So, yeah, I mean, but to do what Sam just said about that corner, he is a dick. So, but his mom is not a whore. She's a wonderful woman.
She's an absolute angel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I can't say that.
Yeah.
No.
For the record, we wouldn't. Nobody in this room would actually say it.
No, we wouldn't.
No.
Jackson,
shifty eyes out of you.
Jackson paused and pointed at me. It's like, I'm your father.
You were giving me eye contact that was a little bit shifty. I'll tell you that much.
I was thinking.
I might.
I was thinking. Yeah, I'm not throwing that arrow away. It's in the quiver. Yeah. Never know.
Where's that?
Fight or flight, man. I'm just
It's back here somewhere in that quiver.
Yeah.
The one I can't reach.
And I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna flat out go there just because actually it'd be great. Apparently great press for the show, but we all likely have been reading about the exploits of a certain California crit racer who has a tough time on social media with his, and I'm going to say it, and I'm making up the words, assholistic behavior. Especially in terms of his most recent tirade that he has since deleted, but that doesn't work because everybody takes screen grabs of it. Dude's a crybaby. I'm going to say it. And I could say his name because I don't give a shit. But when things aren't going your way, you ever notice that people lash out like that? I'm talking about the inner asshole, and I can tell that he either had somebody tell him he was being an asshole, or sponsors started to say shut the F up. Is his behavior defensible? Can we see empathetic understanding from his point with the pressure of being a rider on one of the largest domestic teams in the United States, of having the pressure of putting on these races that sometimes are financially unstable, and living in a glass house? Is this a glass house incident, or should he shut the hell up and put the phone down?
I think, I have always looked up to, I'll say, Legion of LA, because, I think that their model of cycling is really cool and unique.
It is.
And they've built a very cool image around that. So hats off to them, but they are trying to be the spokesperson, the marketing team, and the bike racer or the athlete.
Yeah.
In any franchise, that doesn't work. And so like there's a lot of shit talk that happens on. I mean, if you look back at like the MJ documentary and stuff, like man, people in your ears just talking. Your mother's a whore, right? Like I mean, they say stuff like awful stuff in your ears to try to get in your. So that's all trash talk, like between those two, Legion and NorCal groups that like can go on the crit race. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like it's taking over into social media, and that's where it's like they need a marketing person that is actually maybe
somebody who has control of the account.
Because like it's bad. I mean, he's creating a really bad image for the crew.
Yeah. And this isn't the first time this has happened.
No, and I was like, we brought this up a few weeks ago, and I was like, I'm still kind of Team Legion.
Yeah.
And then now it's like the more this is happening, I'm like, oh, guys, this is getting bad.
Yeah.
Like you're picking on all of these small groups.
Yeah.
Just let your racing do its own thing.
Every week it's something new. Mm-hmm. Jackson, you're more kind of entrenched in this. You follow pretty closely.
Yeah, so I've been really getting into like NorCal cycling. He's got a great video on this if you really want to get like the deep dive into it. He goes through the whole thing. And it's only 4 minutes, so it's not really that much of your time.
There we go.
But
except he's holding a gigantic recorder in front of his face with a gigantic dead cat on it. That's what they call the windscreens on it. Mm-hmm. Just like going, personally, I'd like to say, I just want to comment on this. And apparently, I never learned anything about audio engineering.
That's a bike racer for you, though.
Yeah. But actually, his videos are very good.
They're really good. I love. He's probably one of my favorite YouTube channels right now.
I'm gonna make fun of him because he'll come after me.
Right. Well,
and we're okay.
It'll be a reciprocal press.
Right. But he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So it's like he understands the joke. But I think it just really comes down to somebody who doesn't know when to like turn it off. I think it was really disappointing to see this whole drama go down just because it's like everybody has an opinion on sport. That's what is so dynamic and fascinating about it. I think that it's really cool that everybody can like tear it down to its bare bones.
Yeah.
And just to have their own, like I said, have their own opinion. And I think that when you look at it and go, oh, no, your opinion's wrong, you're like, especially being as popular as you are, you're going to get shit.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to just take it, as many YouTubers do. They just ignore the comments. Because I've
put the phone down.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of YouTubers been like, oh, I get death threats. Like, that's a horrendous thing that people deal with. But, like, being in the public eye, you do have to understand that there will be some sort of criticism. I'm not saying the death threats are, like, okay.
No.
But at all. Not even close. But it's like there will be some shit, and you have to kind of just, like, take that on the chin and know that you're in the public eye. And then going out and, like, kind of saying that, oh, Cat 3s can't respond to these type of things, it's like, buddy, you're just like, you're making yourself the fool in this instance.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's disappointing for somebody who says the sport's open to everybody. You're kind of taking away that by saying that only certain people can talk about it.
He was directing towards Jeff, who's a Cat 1.
Exactly. And that's where
but he was a smaller Northern California team.
And but I guess if we're looking at the numbers, Mike's Bikes did very recently kind of win over on Legion. So it's Yeah, I don't know. It just made him look, like Sam said, it didn't make him look very good.
It made him look like a crybaby.
Well, and he's kind of getting that image a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, after you throw fists and then you do this on social media, you're kind of getting a name for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I actually saw it's neurocycling or podcast or something, and it's two guys from Australia. And one's a coach, and he's a Cat 1 down there, and the other one does, they race down there, and they had the vegan cyclist before. You can find them on YouTube. I think it's Neuro Podcast or something like that. And so they had Jeff on there from NorCal, and that subject came up, and that's where his statements is where Justin responded to, and I'm like, where did he come up with the slanders like you Cat 3, where do you get off? And it's like he didn't even do his research. And Jeff was just like, these are my concerns about it. And many times he plugged like, those guys are doing wonderful things he wasn't like, these guys don't know what the crap they're doing, that type of thing. So I don't think it was justified. It was unfortunate it didn't look good. And then it makes me think, did Justin actually even hear it, or was it hearsay? People like, you
Yeah.
know what, that guy from NorCal was saying shit about you, and so it's like, oh well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go online and I'm just gonna tell him what I think.
Yeah.
And
Man.
so it wasn't researched, and maybe that's why he's like, oh, I didn't even know who it was, and pulled it off. I don't know.
Legion, get yourself a marketer.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
PR guy.
Get yourself somebody who's got the password to the Twitter account.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Don't do this anymore.
What's dangerous anymore is that you can have your own personal account.
Yeah.
He's not the Legion guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's his own account that he's going out on. So it's like, do you say no more account for you, buddy? You almost can't do that.
When you have a gigantic, major, multi-million-dollar organization behind your name,
Look at Jay Morant right now.
You know that's where or Elon Musk, for Christ's sake. That's where you just say, you know what? Somebody take my password away from me. And I will, yes, there are going to be times when I come home a little tipsy and I want to just I just want to rant about the fact that my cat's adorable and it just shit on the floor, but I can't. And, that's okay. Then I'll go sleep it off. Or, I mean, maybe we all do need a little babysitter every once in a while.
Well, and that's what's complicated anymore about the age we live in, that it's like if you get angry at somebody else and you post it out there, it's there forever.
Yeah.
And I'm not coming in the defense of either one of them here, but it's like, I think he probably just got really, really angry about the whole situation, put it out there, and didn't realize, oh, there are big sponsors that I literally took a picture of one of the bicycles of and talk shit on that post. I don't think the association was made there.
Yeah,
and it's like I mean, like we're talking about now, the inner asshole clouds your judgment a little bit. A situation can. And so I wonder if that's kind of what went through. Yeah.
Adrenaline is a drug, and it'll mess you up. Yeah. Bernardino was an asshole. We can all probably agree, especially Paul and I can. Lance Armstrong was and is an asshole. I'm saying, Lance, don't come after me, man, because I just said earlier I'm an asshole too. I am an asshole at times. We all have our different levels of assholedom. Who, in your opinions, are some of the top assholes in the cycling world?
My brother.
Well, that was quick. Wow.
Is there anyone else that has anything to say?
Well, that's been Packfiller
Yeah.
Podcast.
Packfiller
Everybody,
Podcast.
we'll talk to you next week. Let's talk about assholes and nice guys, because you see that clip of Peter Sagan waving Caleb Ewan into the wheel in front of him. You're like going, okay, that is a freaking cool dude, but he's got to have some level of assholery to be able to achieve what he has achieved. Yeah. So, who are the people that can and cannot turn it off, in your opinions? Anybody, top two?
Man, that's a tough question.
Really?
I think so.
I mean, Lance leads the...
I think Geraint Thomas is a total freaking angel. I think he's nothing but like
he
the
can throw
purest
some
of
shade
pure.
on people. I listen to his podcast, and it's like, yeah, he has no room for social media and stuff, and he's pretty blatant about it. It's not like, it's good for some. He's like, what the fuck are you listening? He's telling his teammates, like DeBlus, they call him DeBluski. It's like, get the fuck off that thing, he's got a mean streak in him.
Yeah.
But I think, when it comes out, he does not like the media because
No.
everybody says we're going to crash next.
Yeah, exactly. But
that's
not.
not.
I'm saying that he is not a jerk. Like everybody in the peloton will say that he's a nice guy, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that. Oh man, in the peloton right now, who's a jerk?
It's tough. We live in a weird age where it's like there aren't that many dicks. Well,
They're
okay, assholes. Well, mean people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
I got there eventually.
Opinions are like assholes.
Yeah.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anybody.
I mean, even from the recent past, do you think Shark Messina? Do you think he?
No,
Oh.
I liked him.
I mean,
Was he?
I don't think he's an
Nibali?
asshole. I don't think that I don't really love him as a rider, but I don't think he was a jerk.
Okay.
You know who I bet was a little bit of a jerk?
Who?
And I feel like this might be kind of bad. I bet you Fabian Cancellara.
That's what I was
Do
wondering.
you think so?
I bet you.
But he's like the old. It's like Tom
I don't
Boonen
think-
too.
I don't
It's like
think-
they were kind of the alphas of the
Yeah.
peloton. So I think you get kind of like
I don't mean this.
Yeah.
I'm just calling it what it is. But Boonen seems like he was a little bit of a prima donna. Cancellara just seems like he didn't have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think
he's
he
Swiss.
laughs.
I was going to say, well, he's Swiss.
Yeah.
Like it is just
Like, man.
Humor makes
I
no
would
sense
say-
to me. Yeah.
I would say, from what I heard in the Peloton, but I think that opinion's changing. Is Remco people didn't like?
I'm
Yeah.
still on the
He has
fence
a
about
tendency
I
Remco.
think he's lighting up a little.
Yeah, quite a
for
bit.
sure.
The day of 2 crashes, where he was blaming other people for his
yeah.
crashes, and I'm just like going, "Oh, don't let the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
boy
yeah.
take over,
Yeah.
Remco."
Yeah.
And I think Remco has a lot of handlers in place.
Who's the dick that we were all talking about like last year or something like that? Like those like making posts on social media that, oh my god, it'll come to me.
Was he in the tour?
Did he ride
was in
for
the
a
World
California crit team?
Tour. Oh my god,
I didn't say his name.
I agree.
He's gonna
I
come after
agree.
me now.
Yeah,
I bet there are a lot.
You know
of
what, that'd be
podcasts
okay.
striving
Talk about
for-
the publicity.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to the dude.
Yep.
Even if he hung up the phone and told me to piss off. That'd be
he tells a great story. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's done wonderful things for the sport. Once again, I think the model that he has built is incredible.
And they
I
brought
agree,
us. They
100%.
brought us into the race. That
Yeah.
We are now not only within. It's a NASCAR kind of a thing. We are in the race with the personalities, but they also go pro up, so we get to see every single inch of the race. So
You know who I think would be a really nice guy? Well, when he was in the Pro Peloton, I think Alex Howes would probably be one of the nicest guys.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Just like
Yeah.
I know previous,
been on the podcast.
but I think just the way that he interacts with people, he's super open to everybody and every
Yeah,
style of
yeah.
rider. I think he'd be a really cool guy.
Who's the other one that's the
Lachlan.
maple syrup?
Oh, Ted.
Ted King,
Ted
great
King.
guy.
Gosh,
Great guy, too, yeah.
Another guy. Yep, he was on the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched the video last night of he and Laura
She was on the podcast.
doing a YouTube video about their life on the road in their van. I got tense. I had to take a shot of whiskey after this video because it is just chaos. They have 2 little kids. One of them they built a little makeshift kind of a plastic roll cage because the kid's on his bed and he could roll off into something like that. And the whole van is just it's so cluttered, it's so tight, it's so we ought to open this and turn this, and the shitter's right here between the 2 chairs and blah 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 blah, and everybody's like going #van life, and I'm going #no fucking way.
Why would you not get an RV at that level?
They,
You know?
well, because the vans are cool right now.
They're cool, but like, who cares about gas mileage?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like gas mileage is the biggest thing that vans have to offer.
I don't
like,
think I don't know if it's that much better. I could be wrong.
Well,
but
I mean,
yeah.
my friend who has like the turbo diesel, whatever Mercedes Sprinter van, he gets like 30 miles to the gallon.
What?
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh,
it's like the diesel.
I get 12
Well, is yours
regular
petrol?
fuel,
Yeah.
regular fuel.
But it's an RV.
But I can close the door to take a shit.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I would do yours. Like,
Yeah.
you have the perfect camper.
Yeah.
Another nice person in the Peloton.
Thanks for bringing
Back.
it back around.
Yeah.
Jack.
Cecilia Utrup Ludwig.
Yeah,
If you
she's
watch,
awesome.
if you watch the video of her with Matt Stevens, another person of the podcast.
Yeah. That's number 5. Yeah.
She is really funny, and she's just in it to have a good time, and I really appreciate professional athletes like that.
Did you ever see her interview? This is after Tour of Flanders. She got several years ago. She got 3rd place, and it was so great. She was just like so elated. It's like, you wouldn't believe it. I'm out there in the crowd, like and she's just going through this whole character about and my heart's beating. It's like you can't even hear yourself. And she was just jacked. And it's like, as opposed to that Formula A type well, we attacked when we wanted to and blah blah blah, and then I saw a gap and I won.
The press prepared statements. Well, everything and the good Lord willing, we can pull out a win.
We executed. You got to say the word
executed.
executed.
Yeah,
We had a
exactly.
plan. We executed it. Yeah. And
I mean, I think that, like, if you circle back to what we're all saying here, there's a lot of good people in the Peloton right now.
There are.
Yeah.
Like, I think that social media has a lot to do with that too, in the sense of like, you will get canceled at that level if you're
Yeah.
if you're a dick, right? If you're like, you're gone.
I don't know. Lefebvre
That's-
doesn't seem to be flinching.
That's because he's got the
True.
checkbook.
That's because
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's the dick of the Peloton.
I do have to say I reached out to him to ask him to be on the show, and I got the best response ever from him.
Hell no.
No, just no. N-O, period.
Nope.
No. That was it. I was
No
just like,
way.
all right,
That's
man, thanks for your
legendary.
time.
Yeah.
I guess that's
He
the
just
worst
got-
You
thing.
know
he
he
could've
was
said.
sitting on the shitter when he sent that too.
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
Thank you
Apparently, your mother is. No, I mean, thanks, Patrick. From another Patrick, you thought I'd have had that tie, I'd have had that in, but no. Hey, you guys. I do have to take a short break for our friends on the show, which is a part in the show that I have to take a break for our friends. See how I did that?
Wow.
That's pretty creative.
Well done.
I also have to mark down when it happened because,
As I say in the classroom, everybody pop a bubble in.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to do that from now on. I'm going to say it's time to pop a bubble in.
Yep. And then when you get outside, you can pop your bubble.
Wow.
Nice.
You're built for
Holy
that job.
crap.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. You're good at
I'm going to
that.
do that with a patient, and then I'm going to wait a whole hour.
Yeah.
You see
Okay,
them
now
just.
you can talk. Yeah, I know.
Mr. Jackson, my bubble!
I always say. Well, I always say.
Johnny didn't pop his bubble!
I always say breathe through your nose, so they don't begin to stop breathing.
That's a good. Yeah.
4 shades of blue.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
give them that cue.
Yeah, well, you're fitting triathletes for bike fits. They might not.
They
know
don't
to
need
pop
it.
their bubble.
Yeah.
God, oh yeah, the guys at the race last week were just like when they rode by me after taking first and second, they're like, not bad for a couple triathletes. I'm like going, thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for
Not
listening
this
to the
week,
show.
right?
No,
Oh,
they
man.
listened, and they pulled a little flipping shit back.
I love
and that.
that.
Is 1,000%
Also, I can respect the hell out of that flex.
yeah,
But what they
What
they don't know is that you hear the
yeah.
lighting of a fire
Yeah,
inside of a
That is.
belly.
Yeah, that is exactly. I'm gonna be like sprinting next race. My heart rate's gonna be going like 280. I'm just really going. A few more pedal strokes.
Just you see
Pat, something's wrong. No, just give me a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. You're never taking me out. Yeah, exactly. So I do want to. I want to put ourselves out there a little bit, and we obviously do on a regular basis. I want to announce first of all, and I don't know if anybody at the bar even understands what spins around in my head in the middle of the night, that our writing content is going to be increasing over the next months. I'm working on a new website, a new look for the show. It is my goal that Packfiller become a home for a two-wheeled lifestyle with tongue firmly planted in cheek. And in order to do that, I want to start putting some challenges together. And I asked you guys if you're willing to do this kind of a thing. Something for us to attempt, I don't know, like, for example, Paul on a bike packing trip. Oh, that everyone can either attempt themselves or follow along and laugh like hell at Paul's extent. I'm not saying you're gonna have to do that, but like if Jackass met GCN. I have a list of ideas that have popped into my head over the years and things like that, and I want you guys to either think about them. And I want everybody listening at home, and if you guys come up with something even better while I'm mentioning these off, go ahead and let it fly. So challenges that could be posed over the next year, the next months, or something like that. Number one, commute for a full month. Nothing but to and from work, although Paul does it every day.
That'd be easy.
I would have a tough time during the school year, doing it because So
What would your commute look like in the summer?
yeah,
You'd walk down the stairs and make my coffee.
Yeah.
honey, morning, hun.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Hi, vendor, give me a scratch.
Yeah, exactly. Hill repeats every day for a month. That's one that I've been assigned, and I thought that was an interesting one. Defining a hill and doing it every day. I'm having a hard time figuring that out because, for example, I was going to start my hill repeats for a month on the 15th, which was yesterday, but I can't because I have the 24-hour race I got to cover. How for a month are you available to do the same hill every day?
Yeah,
I
it'd
know.
be
It's a tough
tough
one.
because that's an
It's a tough
actual ride. Like the commute one is easy because
Yeah.
like I'm gonna throw on my clothes and I'll bike a mile and a half up the hill.
Yeah.
That's a piece of cake. But like if you're gonna go out and do like a hill repeat, once where it's like you pick your hill, and if you're just doing it once, still you're gonna have to throw your full kit on and everything. to go do it.
Exactly. Sam can't do this one to experience a vegan or vegetarian diet.
No.
And see how but it would be interesting.
Sorry.
It would be
Hey,
interesting.
by the way, new.
to see how things panned out in the end.
Yeah. If you guys want tips, I can give you all the
never
diet.
know.
Not really. No, I don't
Yeah.
want tips.
You
We're
might
not on
idea.
the tofu diet.
No,
you might
I like my pork sausage. I can't give that up.
I think it would be interesting to see how the body would respond in such a
This is
short
my
period
point.
of time, too.
Yeah, this is my point.
Yeah.
That would be something I'd be willing to try.
For a
Not
month,
not
it's so
vegan,
temporary.
vegetarian.
For like a month, for a short
Yeah, I
amount
could
of
do
time.
that. I could do that. And there used to be a restaurant downtown. It's called Mizuna's, and
Yeah.
it was
Oh.
all that was like. Now it's changed, but
They do
that was
both.
good.
They do vegetarian and
Yeah,
normal
I know.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. But if
But
there's
the original
meat on the
owners,
menu,
yeah,
I
yeah. I can't,
can you just slide it in somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you stuff it in that cauliflower fake rice stuff that you have that
yeah.
you're making your stuff look like meat, like hot wings made out of cauliflower. That's good.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
When they're always just like they take a bite out of it and like, oh, it almost tastes like the real thing.
That's
Why
what
are you?
kills
If,
me.
Then why?
why are you eating it if you have to make it taste like meat?
We don't. Okay, that is like. Here's the thing: is
Defend your
when-
bullshit.
no,
white
like,
wife
when you first switch to that type of diet, you're looking for those things because you're trying to replace the meat, right? And they're all high in
Wow.
protein, but they're all high in like soy protein or pea protein or something that's going to destroy your gut. Oh my god! And so, by now we eat like very rarely any of those type of modified.
Processed
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Like, I mean, the most processed thing that we would eat would be tofu. That's really not processed.
I don't mind tofu.
Yeah, but
I
like,
mean, I could get off on. I know I could do the vegetarian thing easy.
Yeah. So
That's
there's a
not a problem.
challenge.
yeah, vegetarian
That's
is really
not a
not
problem.
hard.
So these are challenges. I'm saying try it out and document what the experience would be like. I think it'd be interesting. An Everest attempt.
Fuck no.
No, that's stupid.
My friend tried to rope me into
That's
that
so
last year.
2020.
It is so
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's outdated. I'll scribble that one off. Sam and I have talked about the overnight challenge.
Game on.
Rides, a specific distance to a location. Okay, let's say it's 75, 85, 100 miles away. And you can pick any route you want there.
Yep.
Any route you want. You get there, you can. I think you and I talked about you can stay in an
Camp or
RV, but
stay
you're gonna
in-
lose. You're gonna lose if you stay in a hotel. You lose points. If you camp, you gain points. And for every minute over a certain, a minute gain you get, it's a point or something like that. So I mean, I think it'd be interesting to try that one out.
I'm down. I'm sleeping in a bed.
All right, I'd camp.
No way. I'd rather lose the points.
I'm 60. There's no way I'm going to be discomfort. I've got very short window of life left. I'm not going to sit.
There's only a
I'm not gonna
certain amount of
sleep in a
nights that I
ditch
have left.
like Justin Short. There's no way.
no.
I'm not going to live a life like that.
No.
Yeah.
I could die any minute.
Yeah.
The more sweat, the better, boy.
That's right.
I've proposed this before, and nobody's ever taken me up on the beer 4 mile.
I'll do that.
No
I'll do
way
that.
in hell am I gonna do that.
It would have to be
I
on
have
a trainer, right?
It's on the trainer.
I'll do
It's
it
on
on
the
a
train.
track.
No, I don't want movement involved in this.
I'm telling
I'm
you,
saying
you mean one beer per
you
mile.
pound a beer, you do a mile on the trainer. You pound a beer, you do a mile on
Are
the
we
trainer. You
timed?
pound- yeah.
Okay.
What's the time? What do you have to do it in?
The winner is the fastest.
Oh, smoke all you.
4 miles, 4 beers.
Line David and I up on this.
All on trainers. I think it'd be a funny video.
We can do it on a
Content.
Saturday.
I'm telling you right now, if you line David up on this, one of us is puking.
Yeah, that's probably.
I think
Which
all
one
of
if you
us
want
would be
that?
all of you are puking.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
like eating a Thanksgiving dinner and then going all out.
Yeah.
I noticed you said all of you.
Yeah, because no way in hell am I doing that dumb shit.
Okay.
My stomach hurts
I
so
want-
bad thinking about
I
it.
want the details. Is this structured in the sense of mile beer, or
Yes.
can you choose
No.
4 beers, 4 miles?
No, mile
No.
beer. It's actually beer, mile, mile.
Actually, yeah, let's make him do 4 beers and then
Yeah.
make him ride 4 miles.
Oh my
By the
god.
time it hits, I'm done.
No. By the
No.
time it hits, you're all over the floor.
You're
Yeah.
vomiting.
You'll be tossing
Yeah.
Technicolor yawns.
Yeah.
That's what you'll be doing.
You get 2 miles in it.
Yeah.
Talking to Ralph on the big white telephone.
It sounded like the intro. Right about. Wait for it. It you would sound like the electronic version of that.
Oh God, just the thought of it's gross.
I think it'd be hilarious, and I think it'd be hilarious to
Film that.
film.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
okay,
down.
we got to blur the puke, but we'd be able to
Just
do it.
puke
Yeah,
over the
pixel it.
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Who eats Fruit Loops?
It would be interesting to see the beer
Skittles.
because it would really depend on the beer. So you
It would.
would have to really
It all
think.
has to be regulated.
So here's
Bud Zero.
Ooh, I have a really good idea.
I know that doesn't count.
No, I have a
You
great
gotta raise
idea.
your hand
Yeah.
with that.
Ooh, I have a good idea. I think that I get to choose the beer for everybody else because who's going to have the least
choose the cider for you or something?
Well, no, I'm not doing the challenge because I'm not
Stupid.
stupid. Yeah. But I think because I know the least about beer, I should do it.
No, because we're gonna end up drinking
Just give you,
some
like-
deep stout or something.
The
something
Perry
you could chew
Well,
on.
that's right. That's fine.
the Perry
Yeah.
Street Brewing
Yes.
Doma Porter.
Yeah,
like,
that's what we're gonna.
Oh my god.
I'll
Yeah,
never
you're
go
gonna
to
get
Perry
bacon
again.
flavored beer.
Oh,
Bacon
God.
flavor. No, I couldn't even get that down.
That's
When
the
they start
point.
putting
Oh,
flavors in
yeah.
beers, that's just wrong.
it'd have to be
Peanut
kind of
butter
a summer,
stout, that
summer
would be
style
good.
of beer, like a Pils or a Helles.
We
or
could turn this
something
into
like
a new
A Hellas.
TikTok thing.
that. I think it'd be funny. I'm saying this summer, my carport trainers.
I'm ready.
All
Line
right.
me up.
All right.
I have a hose.
What
I
is-
have a pressure washer.
We should. You know what we should do is do like a barbecue afterward, that type of thing. Because my wife would be totally into seeing me get sick again. So
So you guys are telling me right now that 4 of you would happily puke and then eat like a heavy meat.
yeah, I would
Fake
love a
meat,
heavy
yeah.
meat.
Fake
Yeah.
meat, yeah.
This guy
Wow.
went.
Not fake
This
meat.
guy went to college during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell?
He never went to those parties.
God, that sounds like my worst nightmare.
I'm in.
I do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll do it.
so I'm gonna circle the beer.
Yeah, I
4
think
mile.
that's good.
Okay. I think this one's been done too many times. A road race on a gravel bike.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I do that.
That's stupid.
You did do it.
Yeah, I mean, I do it. That's what I'm saying.
race?
Like it's
Oh no, gravel race. Sorry.
Gravel race on a road bike.
Yeah.
that was dumb.
it was dumb.
That was dumb. The return of the cross state challenge.
Don't make me run
No,
across this.
But you
state
pick
again.
it. But you pick a different state every
Oh.
time. Every time you do it.
Idaho.
Idaho in the
Panhandle.
top
I was
part.
gonna
Yeah.
say, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
The panhandle of Idaho. It's like 70
Panhandle
miles,
of
yeah.
Oklahoma.
What about Rhode Island?
Panhandle of Texas?
Let's do Rhode Island.
Rhode
That's a
Rhode
small
Island.
one. Yeah.
yeah.
Montana.
Oh my God.
Fudge,
no.
no.
way.
Texas.
The winds.
Ah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you
See,
get on the east
I
side
would
of the
do that.
prairie. Oh,
I
no.
would do that. I would
you
cross
would-
Montana.
In a day.
It's
There's
straight
no way.
through. Yeah.
No, you could not.
I would probably have to
It's what-
sleep, and stuff like that. I would make a point to do it straight through, but I'd probably have to bike pack it. But yeah, I would do it. I have, and this is
crazy.
another one that I've always wanted to do. Another challenge I've always wanted to do, not in one sitting, but cross the continental United States. But you do chunks of
Yeah.
it every summer. You do a week every summer where you cross a part of the United States, and then the next summer you fly out to where you stopped and you take over from there.
I think
So
I'm the
you
only
start-
one here that's going to do this with you.
You start in Seattle, you dip your front tire in the water.
Seattle, so we're not going out to the peninsula.
No, that's true. Never mind. You go all the way up to the peninsula, and then you finish
New
on
York.
the East Coast, New York, and then you party like
have a
hell in New
bagel.
York. Yeah, you have a bagel and go home. I would do that.
I would do that
I
with
would
you.
do that in a minute. Okay, there we go. How about riding 12 hours straight,
No,
Easy.
and the winner goes the longest distance?
no,
Easy.
no,
I've done 11. It's not worth it.
no.
It sucks.
That's easy.
You did it on a
Up it.
trainer.
No, I did 11 out on the road in California.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
It was the worst day of my life.
Yep,
I'm not.
But also the
yeah.
best day.
That doesn't scare me.
See, me neither.
It doesn't
the
scare
problem
me.
is-
It's not like, again, do I have to bring up? I've got a short window of life here, people.
This could kill
I'm not
him.
going to waste 11 hours.
problem
Doing the
12 hours.
passion of your life.
That's not a passion. Passion is racing. I'm in the
Well,
crits. You're like
I'm trying to
45
get-
minutes. Yeah, done. Just like the sex in my,
You
life.
45 minutes.
yeah.
Well,
Poor wife.
I'm
That's
60. It takes a while. So, there's
47
a lot of things on my mind right now.
I gotta wake up first.
yeah.
40 of that is just getting it.
Yeah. That's right. It's all yours.
Oh my gosh.
It's all yours.
Sorry, this plastic bag full of water.
If you get it up,
wake up a little bit.
If you get it up, it's all yours. If not, it's putty in your hand. All right. I crossed the line. Sorry.
Oh my god. What was that last one that we were talking about?
12 hours.
12 hours and ended up there. That's it. That's wow. All right.
So the problem here is, Sam, is you and I are willing to do it.
yeah.
That's not a good story.
No.
The people who
Because
are
you
lesser willing to do it.
Oh, I can
is
rope
the
in a
good
lot of
story.
chumps. I know plenty of chumps.
Well,
How do you
there's
think I
gotta be
got
half
all
one to
those
your right and
guys?
one to your left that we
Yeah.
should actually get in.
And would you do that, Jackson? No.
I could rope Jackson in.
No.
12
I
hours.
probably couldn't rope
You got to
him
give
in.
me something comfy.
Yeah, I could rope Jackson in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I couldn't. I don't think I could
No.
rope Paul in.
No.
No.
Too old, too crusty.
Too old, too crusty.
Are there any of these, Paul, that struck you?
I like the beer thing.
Beer.
Beer mile.
Not
he
the
likes
overnight.
beer.
I think Paul on an overnight challenge would be freaking hilarious, especially if he had to camp. Mm-hmm. Where you're cooking,
Grumpy old man.
for him and stuff like that. And
It
getting
would
there.
be really funny to see that. That would be like
Yeah.
I can think
it'd
of
make
GCN
great-
did something similar like a few years ago with like a backpacking, and there was two people that were very experienced and one person who was just way
Yeah.
out of their element.
Yeah.
And like that would be Paul.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny. Do you guys have any other ones that have popped into your head? I asked you guys earlier, but none of you probably did your homework.
I mean, I was just trying to think of like I mean, for me, like it's always like something big and epic, right? Like a 200-mile bike ride,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, but I would do that. Like if that's like what we were doing, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
See, I'm in too. I'm into that.
I mean, it's just there's not many things that like anything on that list. I would do it. I wouldn't enjoy it. But
well,
I'd
you're
do
not
it.
supposed to. That's
Yeah.
what makes it interesting for others because they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
They live vicariously through your errors.
Yeah. I think I would do anything on that list. I think there's not many things that are like, eh.
All right, I'm throwing it out there for the listener. So let us know. If you have a better idea, let us know. Of that list, you vote. Send me your votes. Let's see what we got there. We haven't done a quick tip on Bike Fit Sam for a very long time.
I know.
Do you got anything for us?
Yes, I
What do you
do.
got?
And I'm actually going to.
By the way, courtesy of Ambassador Cycling, which
Yes.
you guys are both masterfully
Repping
spouting.
hard.
That you guys are reverse photo negatives of each other,
I know.
which is good. And you're ripping the shirt, so that's awesome.
I'm going to throw some credit to Terry Prime in my new gravelure stage of life. I've been dialing in the gravel bike. God, it's fun. I took that this weekend. I'm going to do a very quick tangent here from the Bike Fit thing and just say that I was able to take a bike, over to the west side, took the gravel bike, so my wife took the road bike. That meant that I had to push a little bit harder to go the same pace. It was awesome. Win-win, right? But that led me to thinking tire pressure, because that is a very big part of Bike Fit. And we've had that discussion on the podcast several times. And when I was at Afraida this year, Terry Prime, local rider, was telling me there's an app that
Good
he
guy.
uses. Yeah, that gives you a very good estimate of.
The Silca one?
There's Silca, but there's also SRAM Axis.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, so if you go on to either one of those, it just walks you through, fill that out. And I think that that's a very good starting place. You can then, maybe like if you're on like really smooth pavement, add a little bit of pressure, or if you're on really gnarly gravel, subtract like 1 or 2 PSI. Yeah. But yeah, it's a great starting point to like really eliminate a lot of like hand numbness or saddle pressure or foot numbness that you'll get because of like having your tires overinflated. High pad, how are you? I feel like I've been roasting you. I should be
what?
roasting my brother.
No, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
I always put way too much pressure in.
Yeah,
Always have.
You
always
still
will.
run 120, right?
I've never run 120.
I run 110.
I run 100
That's still
100.
It's an
crazy.
even number.
on my mountain bike.
Front and back? Oh my god.
No, I do put about 60 in my mountain bikes. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a problem.
Where's your traction?
You're overinflated, man.
Way overinflated.
Ego, emotions,
Yeah. Everything.
tires,
Waistline.
baseline.
Oh my god.
Oh, you beat me. This is a roast Pat episode, even though David should be getting the blunt of this.
I'm back in AFib.
we already dealt with the
Oh,
Smurf
that's true.
today.
That's
yeah.
true.
So,
Oh, the
Smurf.
the help on the shelf voice at the beginning.
Oh,
Give me that
yeah,
look.
yeah.
Jack's
That
giving me
probably-
a look like going, "You're not coming in my direction, man."
Oh, yeah.
Your ass. Let's finish with a quick. It's supposed to be a final question, and I'm supposed to get to some headlines, but I don't have enough time, so I'm going to combine the both. My final question for the night is in terms of our Giro update, Tour of Italy update. Remco out, along with several others. Thoughts on where the race remains and how your picks are. Personally, I can't believe I did not pick Geraint Thomas. I picked
Somebody did, didn't they?
Remco, Primoz, and João Almeida.
I don't think anybody did.
Okay.
Because we were all talking about it.
Where do things sit in your opinion? If you anything, I'll open up the entire Giro for a quick comment.
David picked
it.
Thomas.
Oh,
Of course he did.
Told you.
yeah. The crashes, the absolute insanity of the race that's happened so far. If you had one thing you wanted to comment on the Giro, that's my final question.
I think whoever is the strongest, willed, will win this. Probably not the strongest rider. I think the strongest willed will come out on top. Because weather, crashes, all that stuff is having an effect. And it's not necessarily the best rider anymore. It's who can get through that hurdle mentally.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. Like, you're enduring the weather of the Giro, which is always up and down. Like, they have 90-degree days, and then they have, 40 degrees and pouring rain. But my one thing is there are crazy crashes this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
With team mechanics.
Yeah,
and
that one was horrible today.
I mean, there's random stuff happening that I'm like, this is the stuff that happens in early season big races that this is polished out by the Tour, right? Like, that would never happen in the Tour. I don't think. So anyway, my synopsis is just there's some wild stuff happening, and I think that whoever can stay rubber side down, but I still don't think Garrett's going to take it. I think Primoz Roglic is sitting in the driver's seat right now because that last big climb,
he's just marking.
He's just
he's looking good, and many time trial kilometers have passed.
Mm-hmm.
So, Paul,
I think it's typical Giro. I mean, I've been following Giro. It's one of my favorite, and I've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
For Grand Tours because it's very unpredictable because of the weather and the terrain and stuff, and they don't really follow a formula. There's longer stages and that type of thing that tend to see, if you're watching, being boring, but it sets up for this. The last week is going to be unbelievably tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is really, and it's gonna. Some people are just gonna blow massively, and that's typical Giro. If you think back when Froome won. Simon Yates was in the lead, and everybody's like, in 2 weeks, they were like, it's over. This guy's he's won 5 stages, and kaboom, he blew up.
Exploded.
And then, and that's typical for the Giro. And I thought back of Nibali, his last win, he was 4 minutes down with 4 days left, and he ended up winning. I mean, it's unpredictable, and that's what's unique about the Giro. But I have Theo Degenhardt. I think he's still winning.
I think Teo's sitting in his hotel room.
Yeah.
I think Teo's sitting back in his hotel room going, I don't have to do the press junket.
Yeah.
I don't have to do any of that shit. I'm just hanging out. And Ineos.
He's a surly bastard, too, man. That
Yeah.
guy is.
Yeah.
But I think...
Not an asshole, though, right?
If I had to choose, no. If I had to choose it by heart, I'd like to see Thomas get that. I think it would be
cool.
Oh, I think he's an outstanding dude, but I do think I'm with you. Primoz is now sitting. I think he was my number 2. Yeah, because Remco is out and Primoz is just marking wheels. When this gets to the final week, he's gonna be like, "Hey guys, remember all those times I was sitting in? Follow me."
Yeah.
So, just packing up and stuff, I was listening to podcasts, and it was What's Occurring.
Yeah.
And Primoz, I think, if I remember correctly, I was like, what? Primoz said he started with COVID.
What?
And that's why he was surprised that Remco pulled out. So.
That was something if we
Are they
had
forced to
No,
pull out?
no,
No,
absolutely not.
If we'd have
It's
had more time, that was something I would have wanted gone into more depth
I thought
about.
you were forced
Nope,
to.
not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a team decision and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it's treated like any other illness. If you want to continue on, you can, and it's a team or athlete's choice to continue on. It's not considered what it was 2 years ago.
The internet theories, dealing with Remco, we're looking at week 1 with how dominant he was. Week 2 where that last climb day he was letting gaps open up, and then the time trial only winning by a second. That maybe he had been feeling parts of that COVID. So that's one, has he had COVID for multiple days that it affected his performance? The other theory was that did he peak at Liège-Bastogne-Liège, and was he coming down off of that high? So, I don't know either, we can only speculate, but it was, man, he looked like garbage on the podium of that time trial. He looked paler than me.
He didn't look good.
No. Yeah, that was not good. So, there we go. I guess only time will tell, and hopefully there are going to be some more stages that are more exciting than a couple of them along the way, especially the one where they all shut down and just let the pack go away, and then final, mountaintop finish, and everybody's just like, "Oh, I don't want to go. You go. You go."
Because everybody's thinking the third week. You're not going to.
Yeah, that's where it's going to get.
They don't want to be Paul May and open up the match by going, "Damn, I only got one."
Yeah.
Right.
Like Bruce Willis in the final scene of The Fifth Element. He only had one match in the matchbox. I'm a nerd. You are. But my mother's not a whore.
No.
Nope.
She's a beautiful woman. Yep. There we go. All right, you guys. That brings us to the end of another Packfiller podcast. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Those are the things I'm supposed to say. Does anybody got anything they want to plug coming up?
Just write in questions for David and I. Write in
questions for Bike Fit
and for Dr. Dave. If you guys have any things you want to know,
and tell us the challenges that you think would be hilarious to watch,
and I will crush them.
All right.